eons of tyranny, the demon god Adyr was finally overthrown by humanity. Though fear of his terrible power endured, was finally overthrown. And so was formed the hallowed sentinels, our duty being to stand vigil for signs of his return. Even exile to another realm could not silence the fallen god forever. And in time, Adyr's malignant influence pervaded the world once more. In his hunger for vengeance, Adyr orchestrated the
Alright, so let's go kick Adyr's ass. That's where we're at in this game. We're at the final battle. And it's a tough boss with a trick. I think I know what the trick is. Got to do this little run every time. But there's something that's in the veil. What I think I need to do, when I'm fighting the boss, I got him actually down once, but there's something in the veil that has one of those little embryo lanterns that gives other enemies protection, but in this case I think it's okay. He got to regenerate all his health back. So I think what I need to do is get him, try not to be in the veil, get him really low on health, and then go into the veil, and without dying or taking him down, kill the little umbral things, and then kill him. Because I think he re-heals as long as there's an umbral thing going on. Because I did kill the umbral thing last time. It's going to take me a while to learn his movesets anyway. Again, the goal here is to get him... God, I wish I could plant one right here. No place to plant the seed down in here. I don't have to do that little run every time. Alright. Okay, now, wait a minute here. See? Umbral. There's another one over there. Another one up there.
Distortions of the truth. For eons, I stood as mankind's guide, shepherding them with wisdom and love. Yet in return, I was betrayed. Those two power-hungry malefactors who declared themselves judges turned my own children against me and waged a terrible war of needless slaughter. The judges their crazed followers butchered those who remained true to me. And when I created the Rogar as a means to put an end to the madness,
No, come on, kill the thing.
they were no match for the heathen forces. In the end, even I fell. And when the judges found
No,
themselves
come on, get unlocked from him. What are you doing?
their best efforts,
Get it. That's what we were trying to do. You too.
in a world left blackened and corpse-choked by their crusade, the judges banished me to this
There's another one
battleground,
over there.
which has served as my prison ever since.
No, can't do it.
Meanwhile, mankind set about to themselves, free from the divine oppression of which they accused me. And yet,
all
how
of
little
them?
time passed before the judges themselves were raised
I think that's all of them.
to the
All right.
status of
No, there's another one over there. Fuck.
Because of worship, their real ambition all too clear. Yet how come the people cheated themselves into believing a triumph? How much blood has been spilled in their names since my banishment? Far more was ever spilled in my name.
Why does this keep happening?
And now, after all the time mankind have had to shape their own destiny, see what they have made of it. War, greed, hatred.
See, and then you get one.
chaos. They thought they were capable of guiding themselves, but have been proven sorely mistaken. Mankind needs me now more than ever.
And now I'm almost dead. I don't see any more now.
Of other beings who claim godhood, where are they? What of Adyr and the abhorrent?
See, now maybe I could kill him, but I'm all out of health now.
They are cowards, hiding in falsehood and obfuscate in shadow. Deemed unworthy of their presence, their communion. And yet, here I stand before you with true words.
And there's another one glowing.
For I love all of my children.
See, this is where life gets too fucking short.
Persistent hubris of humanity.
It's too short for me to fucking... Jesus goddamn Christ. Yeah, I'm 8 minutes in, I'm annoyed as shit. Because what I'm not gonna do is spend hours and hours and hours and hours. How do you kill Adyr in Lords of the Fallen? How do you kill Adyr in Lords of the Fallen? Not Adyr, Adyr. How do you kill Adyr in Lords of the Fallen? You see, it's all a trick, and I hate it when devs do this. This is where they ruin their own games. Because they'll teach you a certain, like, grind mechanic to the game. This is how the game works. This is how you defeat bosses. This is the mechanics you need to defeat bosses. Parries, blocks, dodges, timings. And then we'll give you an end boss, and we know we have to make it difficult, right? So then we'll fucking give a whole new weird mechanic that you have no idea what they're doing, and it's a trick. It's a trick. You got to figure out the trick. And in the meantime, you get your ass stomped into the ground 50 times until you figure out the trick. And then once you get the trick, then you can beat it. I think it's the worst, laziest, dumbest way to ruin a Souls-like game is to make a boss with a trick, especially if the trick isn't fairly obvious. So in this case, you don't fight the boss, you fight the followers as you avoid the boss. You spend a whole game fighting things directly to get to the end, to just hopelessly do the same thing over and over and over, wondering why you can't beat the boss. And because you play a lot of games, you know, well, obviously there's a trick. And you won't know there's a trick until you knock him down the first time, you know, which takes how many attempts to knock down a final boss, right? Probably more than any other boss. So, okay, so here's the game loop that they throw in front of you. You get to the final boss. Okay, you know it's going to be a big bad battle, and it is. He's really hard. He's got a lot of movesets. But like any boss, just be persistent. You'll learn his movesets. You'll figure it out. You'll drain his health. So I did that. Spent, I don't know, an hour plus, 2 hours and a half maybe last session. Not even getting frustrated, right? And then I noticed there was his followers had an umbral lamp on them, and I knew they were there, but I thought they'd maybe like were healing him, because any other mechanic in the game just says that heals him. What happens in this is, as long as there's one of those guys standing, he will just re-heal to full health. So you could fight him infinity. As long as those guys keep standing, he'll just keep healing health. So you won't even get to realize that until you probably knock him down one time, which takes how many fucking times? So then I was like, okay, you must have to kill his followers with the umbral lamps. Well, I was doing that last round, but then they just keep making other. He just keeps enchanting other ones. So it's just dumb. It's dumb, and I don't want to spend hours like all the videos are like, this is like literally the easiest boss in the game once you know what you're doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, you'll spend hours grinding on him, learning his movesets. There's no satisfaction in me spending hours tweaking around trying to figure out what the little trick is. I fucking hate it. It's the worst way to ruin a game. All the criticisms of this game says this ending is bullshit. It's a bullshit way to end a game. Bullshit boss. Oh, see, this is before they updated it, though. This is completely different. This all plays completely different now. Well, that's great. It's great. All the strategy guys are wrong because they updated the game, and now the end level doesn't even look the same. How does this guy do it? Then he reheals. Or does he get a is that an automatic 2-stage with the reheal no matter what? Oh, he gets 2 stages no matter what? Well, that's fine. I mean, if all I got to do is learn, you know, I've already beat him once down, so I can beat him twice down. Not a problem. Everyone's still got those guys standing around. So it doesn't have anything to do with those Umbro things necessarily. See, they updated the game. When this game came out, it had all sorts of like, it didn't get a good reception. It was, as I understand, it was pretty janky. There were numerous numerous complaints about the game. But then they spent a lot of time tightening it up and listening to people's complaints. And then along the way, I kind of heard, you know what, this game's actually, it's turned into what they wanted it to be. And they just kind of released it too early or whatever. And I can tell just why the final boss fight looks different and plays different than some of the walkthroughs from 2023 do. And I saw a different walkthrough that looks like this one. So yeah, so if you just ask Google how to beat this, the AI answer won't necessarily be right. Apparently I gotta beat him twice and run into the circle. But I don't know what I'm not quite sure how his followers play into it then though. Because okay, this one I can get to. There'll be a guy right here. He's gonna have see his little Umbro parasite, which typically would prevent him from taking damage. So he's one of Adyr's followers. I don't even know if I gotta kill all these bitches. See, now that one. Now he gets one. See? Yeah, keep walking back towards me. I don't know why you're glitching like that, but... Where's your parasite? Alright, now this is weird. They never walked over by me before. This is weird. This never happened before. It's weird how they're walking backwards towards me. If I walk too far forward, he's gonna trigger. Well, if I could get all these bitches to walk themselves out, then I don't even have to worry about it. Although this will be a pain in the ass to have to do this every time. It'll take me a while to remember his movesets again. Who next? Yeah, this never happened before. Please see my previous comments about Yank. Yeah, see? You know what I'm talking about. Mr. Quang. But I'm talking to somebody who knows what I'm talking about. Have you beat this game? Any more now? Yeah, come get him. Come get me. See, why are you backing up? So do I have to kill all these guys, or can I just fight him twice and then run in the middle of that circle? Is that all I gotta do is beat him down twice? Because I know he gets... See, the first time I beat him down to 0 health and then he regenerated, I was like, oh, is that because these Umbral guys are still in play? Because if you look at how you had to beat this when the game was released, somehow you had to... It had something to do with taking out the Umbral lamps. Now I just fight them? Two-phase. Ah, okay. See, that's confusing. That's Jabba's... Because that's not the way they are, right? All right, now this all kind of makes sense. The illogic of it makes total sense. Thank you, my friend. Played a lot of fucking video games, so I'm a very amateur game dev myself. So I pull apart logics and I'm like, okay, there's these Umbral guys in here. They must have some, why would they put them in here if they don't have any factor to play? And so when I finally learned his movesets and knocked him down and then he re-healed right away, well, then my brain went, oh, okay, I get it. The Umbral followers somehow can refuel his health. And then I'm thinking, well then that'll just loop infinitely then, as long as he's got followers, right? And so then I looked it up and they're like, yep, kill his followers, but then that's not exactly it. So if it's just a two-phase kill and then run in the middle, cool, we'll do that. It ain't gonna be easy, this guy sucks, but there's a big difference between knowing what you got to do and trying to accomplish it, and then that frustration of like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Am I doing the right thing? Because again, I refer to the beginning of this rant, trick bosses annoy me a little bit in these games, because sometimes the trick, if you look around, well, like in this case, not to keep ranting on this, but in this case, the original design of this boss fight did involve having to kill his followers with the Umbral lamps on it. Somewhere along the updates and improvements of the game, they decided they didn't like how this boss fight went and just decided to turn him into a two-phase boss. But according to what you're telling me, they kind of left the elements of the followers with the Umbrals in there. But if they don't really have any actual effect on the fight itself, other than maybe being in the way a little bit or throwing an occasional swing at you or something, but you can kill the boss just by doing two phases with them and then running in the middle and you're good. Yeah, now it's like a red herring, which again, stupid. you put something in there that I'm paying attention to that I don't have to pay attention to. Let me fight the fucker. He's hard enough as it is, because I'm not all that good. But I did knock him down once, so I know I can do it.
Why do you refuse to open your eyes to their manipulations? To millennia of shameful distortions of the truth.
Oh, see, now right away I'm fucking
I
off.
stood as mankind's guardian, shepherding them with wisdom and love. Yet in return, I was betrayed.
Button.
Those three power-hungry malefactors and called themselves judges turned my own children against me and waged a terrible war of needless slaughter.
Ah, shit.
and their crazy
That's a triple.
followers
That's right.
butchered those who related to me. And when I created the Rogar as a means to protect
That's
the
a triple. That one
Madras,
throws me off.
they too were no match for the evil forces. In the end, even I fell. Although the judges found themselves unable to
Oh yeah,
kill a
that
god,
fucking.
despite their best efforts. In a world blackened and corpse-choked by their crusade, the judges banished me to this battleground, which has served as my prison ever since. Mankind set about wondering themselves, free from the divine oppression of which they accused me. And yet, how little time passed before the judges themselves were raised to the status
That
of
triple right there always
demigods.
gets me.
Worship, their real ambition, all too clear. Yet an outcome deluded themselves into believing a triumph. How much blood has been spilled in their names since my banishment? Far more than was ever spilled in my name. And now, after all the time mankind have had to shape their own destiny, see what they have made of it.
Yeah, see the second phase. Yeah, I got him down on the first attempt here.
Hatred, suffering, chaos. They believed they were capable of
No, I don't know his second phase attacks.
but have been proven.
I've only got here once before.
Mankind.
Okay, so he's got a big zigzag.
Now more than ever.
Does he just keep doing that or what? No, there we go. Pop. Oh, now I'm on fire.
And what of other
Cleanse.
beings who claim godhood? Where are
Dodge.
they?
Dodge. Heal.
What of Aureus and the abhorrent umbral creature?
I should know that one.
Cowards hiding in false light and obfuscating shadows, deeming you unworthy of their presence, their communion. And yet here I stand
know that one.
before you with true words and open arms.
These are easily
For I
dodgeable
love
ones.
all of my children, even the wayward ones.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just being sloppy.
Listen to me. You must stop this.
That one gets me every fucking time.
All of mankind for eternity.
Not looking
I
good.
am not your enemy. My own enemy's fear. The loss of the dominion they have established for themselves in my absence. Cease your misguided violence. Now.
Wrong one, wrong one, wrong one. Nope. Fuck. Oh, I got out of that.
You are in the presence of a god human. Your god.
Those are just better dodged, huh?
From nothing and can just as easily destroy you. Yet you would dare defy my will. The world in which you exist is my world. And yet
All of
mankind,
these attacks are the same.
my own creation, exiled me from it.
I
No
pulled right
idea
into it.
what it is to
I'm about to help.
suffer such a monstrous betrayal.
Look out!
Or to endure the ages of torment which follow.
Three. I fucked it up. That was an easy one. I got it. Come on now. Caught me. Nope. Look out, look out, look out. Look out. Nope. Wrong side. Oh, look out. missed it. Yep. Yeah, bro. Make these guys get your help. All right, yeah. Dumb. I'm not gonna get it this time, I don't think. Yeah. Not too bad. That wasn't too bad. That was like
The
first attempt there.
hubris of humanity.
Yeah, you can feel it. I got it within my grasp. If it ain't this time, it'll be in the next couple times. A lot of dumb mistakes in there. We got this. We need a little boost. Just make sure. I really did like this game though. Now I didn't play it when it was janky. It always looked cool to me, but kind of the early reviews kind of turned me off a bit. But then it just kept coming on my radar. But people saying they kind of really put a lot of love into getting it right. So like I'll get the second one. I'm looking forward to the follow-up. I already put it on the wish list. I might not get it day one, you know. Oh wow, you own this game, man. You totally own this game. Yeah, you know what? To be honest, this is one of the few games I felt like I might even want to go through with try a different class, different move set, different build set. I'm sure I'd sail through it a lot quicker now that I know the areas a bit and understand the mechanics better. It'd be kind of fun to put together a more specialized build. My build's pretty generic. It's actually kind of even magic heavy, and yet I don't use my magic that much because I'm not that skilled. It's like I've got a ridiculous amount of video game experience, but skill is questionable. I'm all right. I mean, to get this far in the game, you got to be somewhat all right. This ain't the easiest game, although I will say this was the easiest Souls game I ever played. Either that or I'm just getting, now I've gotten so used to the genre that, you know, it takes a lot to frustrate me, but I found this one a lot easier than any other Souls game or Souls-like. No less. I think they did a lot with it.
Why do you refuse to open your eyes to their manipulations? To millennia of shameful distortions of the truth? for eons, I stood as mankind's guardian.
Yeah, I've got the rings that let me basically use all magics
Yet in return,
with one umbral.
I was betrayed.
I found that fun.
Those three power-hungry malefactors who declared
There's two
themselves
rings that'll let
judges
you use all umbral
children
with just any combination.
waged a terrible war of needless
With just one
slaughter.
umbral catalyst.
Judges and their crazed followers.
I used a lot of Inferno stuff too, and I like the one that just cooks them in
When I
place.
created the Rogar as a means
Kind of cheap, but it's
to
fun.
the madness. Match for the heathen forces. In the end, even I fell. Although the judges found themselves unable to kill a god, despite their best efforts.
I save my health for the second phase if I can.
World left blackened and corpse-choked by their crusade. The judges banished me to this barren realm, which has served as my prison ever since.
Oh, wrong one. Oh, that's all right.
Meanwhile, mankind set about renewing themselves, free from the divine oppression of which they accused me. And yet, how little time passed before the judges themselves were raised to the status of demigods. Figures of worship, their real ambition, all too clear. Yet an outcome, the people deluded themselves into believing a triumph.
That one gets me. I don't know
How
why.
much blood has been spilled in their names since my banishment? Far more than was ever spilled in my name.
Get away from this thing, so these red lights are getting in my way.
And now, after all the time mankind have had to shape their own destiny, see what they have made of it. War, greed, hatred, suffering, chaos. They believed they were capable of guiding themselves, but have been proven sorely mistaken. Mankind needs me now more than ever. And what of other beings who claim godhood? Where are they? What of Adyr and the
I missed that one.
creature?
No, look out.
Cowards hiding in foresight and obfuscating shadows, deeming you unworthy of their presence, their communion. And yet here I stand before you with true words and open arms. For I love all of my children.
Oh, I got no mana.
I would
What are you
others.
doing? Dummy. I'm fucking around over here doing stuff in the background.
Listen to me. You must stop this before you allow yourself to condemn all of mankind for eternity. I am
There you
not
go,
your
phase
enemy,
one.
only what my own enemies fear. The loss
That was a
of the
waste.
dominion they have established for themselves in my absence.
Oh, shit.
Cease your misguided violence.
Oh, you're just gonna fuck this stuff up.
You are in the presence of a god-human. Your god. I formed you from nothing and can just as easily destroy you. Yet you would dare defy my will. The world in which you exist is my world, my home, and yet mankind, my own creation, exiles me from it. You have no idea what it is.
These are easy, come on.
Such a monstrous betrayal.
You're gonna fuck up?
Or to endure the ages of torment which follow.
Can't get ahead of it. Nope. Fuck. It's doing 3 when I only want to do 2 gets me fucked up a lot. Get locked into the swing animation, right? Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Get in there. Easy ones, come on. Get it. No. Now we just run in here, right? Dun dun dun. I could have got that last session if I'd have known that's all I needed to do. Even a consuming god. You find the transgressors in light. They fall. Dun 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 dun. You guys really shaped up your game, because I'd recommend this game. In fact, if somebody wanted to get into a Souls, never played a Souls genre and thought it looked interesting, I think this and Liza P. Liza P's a lot harder though. But this would be a real good intro to it because it's a little bit stripped down, it's a little bit more straightforward. It's a lot of bit more straightforward. Dark Souls has a lot of like extra shit, you know, extra shit you don't even know what it is or how to use it half the time. You know, there's so many hidden mechanics to that game that makes it super cool and super deep, but it also makes it kind of frustrating because you know you're not getting something about the game all the time. Is a weird feeling, especially the first time you play Dark Souls. You're just like, why is I don't understand so much of this game. This one's so much more straightforward. I like almost any game that has like a veil, like a second reality. It's always a clever mechanic. I've seen it used a few times now. I really liked how all the giants were in the veil. Like, they didn't really explain it, or if they did, I guess I didn't pick up on it. But like the lore of like what happened in the Umbral to freeze all those like giant hell creatures that were like attacking through the you know, those big giant, you know, petrified demons and stuff. Like, there's obviously a story that goes down with that. Oh, those are like a lot of Polish names. Is this an Eastern European game? Oh, I didn't know that. For some reason, I thought this was oh, that's their section. Yeah, okay, never mind. I just started paying attention at a weird place in the credits. That's one of their studios to help do it. I guess I don't know where this. I was under the impression this was an Eastern game, but I could be wrong. Oh, that's cool. I appreciate the offer, man. This is why I stream, is to bump into dudes like you so I can understand where I'm at, what I'm going through. They've been there. And I appreciate the tip, man, because until you clarified all I got to do is kill him twice, I was still... I love these genre of games, but the one parts of them I don't is when I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, which is kind of a baked-in bit. I think the way they want you to feel in these games is they want you to feel like you're a little bit lost, you don't know what's going on, but then the way the levels are designed, it'll fall into place, it'll start to make sense, and then you get more of those aha moments, which are the video game gold moments, you know, where you think you're clever and figured something out, but they just had really good game design that led you to the conclusion, you know. And these games are good at that. And this game was, like I said, a lot more simpler towards it. Like, you throw somebody into Elden Ring, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. If they've never played a Dark Souls, it's too deep. It's too many objects, too many things, too many, you know, even the earliest Dark Souls. I never played Demon Souls. I got to get to that. I don't have PlayStation. I never played Demon Souls, but I played Dark Souls. I beat 1, 2, and 3. I played the shit out of Elden Ring, but I can't say I beat it, and it pisses me off. I have it on Xbox, but for some reason I can't get my Xbox to stream through my computer. But I have a new computer that's screaming. It's awesome computer. Super good stats. And I can't get my Xbox capture card to run through it and get it to work. If I hook it up to my old piece of shit computer, that's an absolute dinosaur, but still works. It works just fine. So it's not the capture card, it's something. And I followed every fucking ChatGPT advice, video advice I could find, and I could not get my capture card to come through my new computer. So my Xbox is off limits for streaming right now. So I figured that out. Because I have Elden Ring on Xbox, and I don't want to pay another $60 to get it on PC. If it was on sale for like $20 or something, I'd throw down another 20 for it, just so I could play it here. But I can't stream it unless it's on PC right now, so. Yeah, so you when I say I beat a game, I mean my definition of beating a game is credit roll to credit roll. I beat the game. But I know for people who are like purists, that's not beating the game. That's experiencing the game. If you want to own the game, you got to go in and top out some percentages and play it on Plus or whatever. Or play it with, you know, a little bit of a skills bent. I generally play games on the just normal difficulties on the first playthroughs, just because I'm not a fucking masochist. And I like playing games. I like playing as many games as I can get to, because I just realized that the pace games come out and how many you can actually dive into per year, you're just never gonna ever be able to play all the games you want to. So as much as I like to go through and maybe play this game again, my curiosity to play something new will win out, and I'll probably jump to something else. I jump around a lot. I play a lot. There's a link in my about on my Twitch. You're watching on Twitch, yeah. In my about section, there's a link to all the video games I've ever beat. And I've beaten a lot of video games. It's ridiculous. I used to be a journalist, a pop music entertainment journalist, so I got paid to review games for quite a few years. Yeah, I play a lot of different games. Like the game before this was we beat Baldur's Gate 3, which took like 4 or 5 months because it's huge. And then I played Hollow Knight just to cleanse the palate. You know, I was like, what's the opposite of Baldur's Gate? I'm like a 2D platformer, probably. That was fun. I blew through that, beat that. And then I figured, what's a good Dark Souls that I haven't played? And this was on sale for like, I don't know, 20 bucks, 24 bucks, I think. I was like, all right, that's pretty fair. That was a fair price for this. If I paid like full price 60, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know. It has replay value, so any game that has replay value, I guess, is worth for full price. But like I said, I don't play games more than once, typically. There's a couple I played more than once, Dead Space. But, yeah, usually there's just too many new games I want to get out. I've never played a Resident Evil game because I've never owned a PlayStation. And I've just never got one on PC. And some of the newer school Resident Evils, I guess, are really, really, really good. And the newest one, I guess, is amazing, but I'm not going to pay 60 bucks. But, see, now this is a whole new class, even, in addition to the other classes. Offense-focused class, vulnerable to physical harm with greater tolerance for magical damage. Boy, a class that's vulnerable to physical harm is not really a strong class in this game, in my opinion. Yeah, there's magic attacks and stuff, but what would you say, 70% of the damage you take is getting smacked around? All right, okay, so all right, you're on the Resident Evil tip too. I also think it'll clip it. New game, one for a higher difficulty, it just resets. Okay. Oh, it starts you with a catalyst. Yeah, I used an old catalyst, one of my first Umbral catalysts, and just upgraded the shit out of it. Best line completionist. Yeah, I missed a lot of the like secret I missed a lot of like the secret object quests, you know, where you find something and you got to take it back to somebody else. Part of the reason is, if I have a criticism on this game, it would be the map. I see what they were trying to do with the journal map, you know, where they just kind of gave sort of sketches and outlines of the major points on the map that you kind of needed to recognize, and you sort of had to kind of clue it out a little bit. But at the same time, it would have been really nice to just know where I was, where I had to go, where I haven't been, and especially if I needed to get back to a certain place for like a quest line, you could find that marker, you know, like, oh, there's that person on the map, now I can go track them down or something. That's part of the Dark Souls whole thing, is they make these really kind of intricate pseudo hidden quest mechanics, and I don't know how you're supposed to learn that shit. I mean, without just playing the game into the ground, where you just accidentally do shit, you know, to find out, oh, if I go up to this, you know, shrine and do this emote, I will get this fucking thing happening, you know, like that kind of level of depth. It's super cool in the game. I respect to the devs to think of it and put it in there, but there's also part of me as a dev, it's like, if you bury content so tricky deep in your game that 80-85%, 90% of the people are never going to even know it's there because you got too smart for your own good, then it's, I don't know, it's not, I don't know, say it's a waste of time, but I don't know. It's just a direction I want go heavy in. Pre-upgraded loot, weapon, shield cap found as loot from enemies. Pre-upgraded based on your level. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. But yeah, okay. What is this? Do we get like a new intro or something?
Law, the latest receiver of his grace.
He's just kicking in where we started. So yeah, this is a good game. Anybody who's thinking about playing it, I'd say play it. Any of the jank that they were talking about when it came out, one point in the game I got stuck. I got jacked in a weird place on a railing. I couldn't unstick myself. That was it. Other than that, and there was one mini boss who kind of got himself stuck on something and just ran in place, saw it, and it was just spam him out. Like otherwise, yeah, I mean, like, if you stick it next to a Dark Souls, it's okay. Dark Souls is much more polished, much more in depth. But if you just like the base idea of the loop and the mechanic and the world and kind of higher difficulty curve fighting and boss set moves and stuff, yeah, you can't go wrong. This game's fine. If you had never played a Dark Souls and this was your first one, you'd think this was really cool. So yeah, I'd give this, with anything 8 or above being totally worth playing, this is an easy 8.5, 8.7, maybe even 9 if you're really into it. With Dark Souls 1 having to be at least a 9 then, because I'd still say Dark Souls is better, but it's an unfair comparison. But no, it isn't. It's a totally fair comparison because this game completely ripped off Dark Souls, and you can't say it did. I mean, they did their own spin on it, and then the Umbral's a cool mechanic that Dark Souls doesn't have, and you definitely can say they put their own shine on it. But you can't. It'd be impossible not to see the comparisons, and it earns its Souls-like comparison. But on the Resident Evil tip, okay, I think that's probably going to be, now that you said that, that's probably going to be the direction I'm going to go. But I have Resident Evil 4 Remake, that came out in like 2023. I know that's an older one in the series, but I heard the remake made it just amazingly good. Like, more than a few people I respect their opinion said it was a really, totally worth playing. And then Resident Evil 7, where it went first person, I have that, and that's on sale too. And so I think I can get that for a pretty decent price. So I think I'm going to toss up between. How about that? If you had to choose to a guy who's never played a Resident Evil, would you recommend the remake of Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 7, where it goes first person? And whatever you choose, that's probably what I'm going to play next. That's how much influence you'll have over my next couple weeks of gaming. Because I have them both on my Steam ready to kind of download. I haven't paid for either one. They're both on sale. They're both very reasonable. I can't remember what their prices were, but $14 or something for the cheaper one, or maybe 20 something for this other one. Anything under $25, it's a full-on game. I think it's fair price. I mean, I get that 60's an industry standard nowadays. And if you enjoy a game, I mean, depends on the game though. Like Baldur's Gate 3. If I paid full price for that game. But my God, it took me like 4 months to get through. I mean, I put it like 170 some hours, I think it took me to beat that game. So if you're going to just measure by hours of gaming, holy shit. I mean, this is 22 sessions. I'm going to say about an average of 2 to 4 hours a session. 50, 60 hours, I'd say it took me to beat this. Rough guess without looking at my streams more and doing the math. We'll say 50 roughly. That's pretty fair. That's a pretty, I mean, if you were to pay $60 for a game, it's $1.25 an hour for a game that you like. I think $1.25 an hour And that's if you just played it once, right? You know, like a game like this, I totally could see building a different class and just going about it. This weapon, I got this fairly early in the game, and then because I had upgraded it, I focused a lot of grind on getting it upgraded. I just never had enough grind to upgrade another weapon, so I'm sure there are other. I got a couple that I played with, but anything heavier than this just seemed to be too clumsy and off. It'd take too long, too slow. This one had cool combos and shit. Yeah. Are you still watching? I'm hoping for that Resident Evil recommendation, man. I know what I'm saying right now in real time takes like, I don't know, it's about 30 seconds to a minute. It takes people to respond from when I say it to when they'll type it in, because there's a little bit of a lag in there. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a stream on this at the hour mark, and put it this way, I have more of a desire to run through this game again than almost most games that I've played. I'm usually pretty good about just, I look at them like books a lot. I'll read them, I'll finish them, and I'm even if they're really good, like Baldur's Gate, amazing game for the genre, the best game if you like that kind of game, that genre, that type of game mechanic and setting and stuff. I don't think there's a better game out there. But I was not sick of it. I could have kept playing, but I was ready for the story to be done after 157 hours. You know, again, I like to play games. As much as I want to play this, I'm ready to go play a different game now, because I know I've got about 5 that I'm itching to play, and another 6 or 7 I'm curious about. And Grand Theft Auto comes out, but it's not going to come out on PC till like next year. So I'm definitely, obviously, going to be part of the herd and get Grand Theft Auto 6. I'll probably pay whatever they want for it. But I'd like to have a little willpower and wait till it goes on sale a little bit. But Control Resonance is coming out in September, I think. I don't know if you ever played the first Control game. But the first Control game, what an underrated game that went past a lot of people, man. That's a good game. It's such a cool game. It has such a cool combination of a shooting mechanic and telekinesis powers, which doesn't sound that original in concept, but the story is really good. The environment that they built for it is really cool. Yeah, I can't recommend Control high enough as a game, especially because a lot of people just didn't even know it or didn't really catch it on their radar. And now they're coming out with its sequel, Control Resonance. And I even remember enough of the story that I even understand where they're picking up in the story, because you play a girl. The girl they got to play the main character in Control is excellent. One of the best voice actors I've ever seen in a game. I give that a really high rating. I'm not like a chauvinist or nothing, but I'll pick the male character because, you know, I'm a dude. I'm a dude's dude. You know, you do you, I'll do me. And I'll fully admit, when they go full in on female protagonists, it isn't necessarily, it doesn't deter me from a game, obviously, but it doesn't appeal to me necessarily either, you know. And Control had like female protagonist, which is cool. Again, I don't want anybody to read it into that the wrong way. And I love that game. Again, couldn't recommend it more, because the actress who did it really brought it home and really didn't lean on necessarily being feminine about it. It wasn't about her being a female. It was about her character as a person and her storyline and her family tie to the whole story and her brother and all this stuff, you know. And then it all made sense in that context. It wasn't, let's just be a strong female because fuck the male patriarchy, you know. Gamers can kind of tell when that's what you're doing, and generally speaking, they don't like it. You can call them toxic all you want, but they don't like it. That's not what I'm talking about. So I don't know if my bro is watching anymore. Not responding to the Resident Evil recommendation. If anybody else is watching, they want to recommend Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 7. 4 is the remake that everybody said just made it the best version, like one of the best incarnations of Resident Evil, period. And then Resident Evil 7 apparently is where they go first person. And I guess that was a rebirth for the genre. Right there was a dev trick. Being a tutorial without being a tutorial. So you come in here, your way forward is immediately blocked by some shit. So that was to teach you that, oh, some of this shit you can break. Okay, I got 30,000. I'm killing my last guy. That's cool. I start with 30,000. Oh, and I keep my equipment too. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, I get it. It's continuing the same game. And if I can pick up any quest line stuff that I didn't pick up off the first game and finish that. This is still the finished game state of my other game. Everything's in the game state I left it in before I fought the boss. Nothing's reset or progressed other than obviously enemy spawns. I get it. Oh, you're there still. Cool. Resident Evil 7 is slow but more thrill. Okay, then I'm gonna go with Resident Evil 7. Sure. Also, I don't pick games for streaming, although I stream all my games, if that makes sense. But I don't pick a game specifically because I think it'll do well streaming. That being said, I've noticed some games do better than others as far as when I post up clips and shit. And for whatever reason, Lords of Fallen did not do as well as... Like, Baldur's Gate 3 did real well. People seem to respond to those clips. I think it's because maybe it's just player base. You know, the bigger the player base, the more likely I'm going to get people responding to the clip. And if they don't know the game, they're probably more likely to scroll by. And I think as well as this game has come around between its rocky launch and just being kind of in the shadow of all the Souls games, it's probably not nearly as well played. So yeah, I was a little surprised at how much of a dip I took in views playing this game. Not so much while I stream. I'm not a big streamer, so I get about the same handful of streamers, a couple, 2, 3, 4 streamers while I play. But as far as like when I post clips up, I can see a big difference in response. Cyberpunk. My God, and I hated the game. I hated Cyberpunk. I did not like playing it. It was an amazing world, amazing characters, amazing mechanics and power. Boring ass game. All you did is drive and talk and walk. You didn't do shit. When I started to put it on a timer, I could play like a 2-3 hour session of Cyberpunk. And the actual gaming parts where I wasn't either talking, walking, or driving was like 10 to 15% of the game. 80% of the game, I'm either in a conversation or going to go drive to get in a conversation or walking around. You know, but once you got in and started doing shit, hacking stuff, fighting stuff, infiltrating stuff, then the game was amazingly cool. But my God, when I clip that, I get thousands and thousands of views on Cyberpunks. I get mid 300 to 700 views per clip on Baldur's Gate 3. I get maybe 100, maybe 50 to 200 views on Lords of the Fallen clips. So I'm thinking, I bet you Resident Evil is going to be a really good clip game, just because of the scares and the, you know, which is a little bit cheap because half of that ain't my gameplay. It's just clipping my reaction to the gameplay, maybe. But all right, I'm gonna call this a day. I got some shit to do. I wrapped this up pretty quick. I knew I would. I just want to beat that boss. Bookend on this game. because I was hanging a bit behind me. I got busy. I was gonna beat this game, and then I got busy, and I was gonna come to it for like 2 days in a row, and just didn't get there. And I just knew I just had this one boss fight just hanging on behind me, and I knew it wasn't that hard. It was just, well, I was convinced it was a trick, and at one time it was a trick. See, that's credit to, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but credit to me as a game dev and understanding game devs, seeing the Umbral followers. My mind said that somehow ties into how you have to defeat this boss. And when this game was originally released, that's exactly true. That's exactly true, because I watched the walkthroughs. But the walkthroughs on those, there's like second levels that you run up in that arena, and it looks a lot different than, it's kind of the same, but obviously very, very different when you see the walkthrough. And at first I was like, what is this? This isn't even the same level. And I was like, oh, it must have updated somewhere, because I read, I think somewhere I did read an article about how somebody broke it down, how much they improved the game. And I think Osmongold went on a rant once about how almost every criticism he had about the game they fixed. Like, he was taking credit for it. Like, they just watched my video. They just fixed everything I told them to fix, and now the game's good. Love him. Yeah, hey, King, thanks for fucking stopping by, man. You're the kind of streamer that just the whole reason I fucking stream, dude, is just to have cool people stop by and give me a good tip or two. And not only that, you directly 100% influenced the next couple weeks of my gaming. So not to like follow to see me, but if you follow, watch the next game that's going to be going up will be Resident Evil 7. I got it all queued up and ready to go on Steam on my wish list. So that's the one I'll do, because I've never played it. Well, okay, total lie to say I've never played a Resident Evil. I was at somebody's house once, and I think I picked up a controller and played like the first 2-3 minutes of like one of the first ones. I think it might have been 2 or something, and those are ganky. Those are still like isometric and ganky with the weird camera angles, and I'm sure they, for the genre and definitely for the time, they were amazingly cool. But I to boot them up nowadays, you have to have a real taste for the retro. They're pretty ganky. What's ironic is when I was a game journalist, I got sent a Resident Evil t-shirt. It was just part of promo for one. I can't remember which game it was. And for years, I turned it into a sleeveless tee, and I'd wear it out disc golfing and stuff. And people would call me, Resident Evil? Yeah, which one did you beat? Yeah, like, I've never beat one. I've never played one. I just got the t-shirt for free. It's a cool t-shirt. But yeah, I know that the series has come a long, long ways, and what's not to like? It's definitely right up my alley. So, yep, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Definitely Kang, safe for stopping by. I'm going to play Resident Evil because you gave me the tip. 2 thumbs up on Lords of the Fallen. If anybody's actually watching and paying attention at this point, you are on the fence about playing it, buying it, get it. It's on sale. Totally worth the money. I'll dig it. Part of me itches to come back and play it again someday, and maybe I will. But it definitely has that replay value. So, on that note, you all have a fucking awesome Saturday. I'm going to have sex today. True story. Well, it's going to be a good day for me, too. Later.